Hey, welcome to the Dr. G Show.
To the Dr. G Show.
I need a theme song. So.
That was it.
That's it?
Okay.
It says, do you want to tag Holly?
Yes.
Tag your...
You should tag me.
Okay, so, let's see if we can do that. I don't know what that's about. Oh, that didn't work. All right. So,
hello, Linda.
Today is the 147th episode.
On skin.
140. We haven't had 147 on skin.
I'm joking because we've done quite a few on skin.
That's a dangling modifier right there.
Okay.
So. All right. So I'm Dr. G. This is the boss.
Holly Hajaj.
When did we say we get that correct?
When I decided to start saying it before you did.
Damn it. All right.
Okay.
So, this month is
Skin
July.
month.
This month is July.
Which
is?
Skin month.
Before August.
Skin month.
So, apparently a lot of people have skin problems and connective tissue problems, so we're going to talk about that.
We figured summer would be a good time because that's the time when people are out in the sun. They're probably thinking about their skin more than they normally do.
And they're showing all their skin, too.
That's right. And when you show your skin, you want it to be as elastic and bouncy and reboundy as possible.
That sounds made up. So,
do you know what we forgot on topics?
What?
Cellulite.
Oh, I'm more cellular heavy.
We need to talk about cellulite before the end of the month is up. Do you agree?
Yeah. So next.
Yes.
Next month we're talking about vagina health or vaggie health. So this month we're talking about skin. And
that show will be Dr. G and Hajj.
Hajj. Because of a JJ.
Get it?
Nice. All right. So, one thing too, I'll tell you, I get a lot of questions about sunburns, that kind of stuff. So we keep telling you, the sun doesn't cause cancer, but only if God hates Americans because He used the sun to kill us because He doesn't like our freedom. Because where the sun's the hottest, most intense near the equator, we have the least amount of skin cancer. So we talked about that twice now. But what do you do when your skin gets red? So I went to Fugitive Beach.
Hi, Brianna.
This last
Christine, hello, welcome.
Couple weeks ago, and I got really red, right? Not burnt, but red. And so what I always do is I put lavender oil all over it, and then lavender stimulates wound healing and speeds up the healing process. And so my redness always ends up turning to tan. And even when I went to Thailand, it was hot as hell, and I got in Belize I got way too much sun, so my skin was all red. And then I went to Thailand, and then I just kept putting on lavender, and then by the time I got to Phuket, which is a little island off Thailand, then it was back to brown. When I got back home, it's all brown.
That was a really good story, thank you.
So,
can I ask a question that might be more interesting?
Well, they get sunburns and stuff. They gotta put lavender on it.
Is lavender estrogenic? I heard that somewhere.
No, that's bullshit. So it's phytoestrogenic, just like all plants, all fruits, all things.
Okay.
But we have 3 estrogens. One is estradiol, which is the one that grows stuff like puberty.
Yes. Boobs.
Yes. Boobs. And now boobs in men are caused by synthetic estrogens.
Yes. That would be one example.
The other 2 estrogens, estrol and estrone, which are more like phytoestrogens, actually prevent estradiol damage and man boobs and endometriosis, fibroids, all that kind of stuff. So if there is a little bit of estrogen in lavender, that's not why people are having all these problems. They're having it because they use synthetic forms of estrogen.
Not going to turn into a girl, guys. Out there, if you use a little lavender, even though he is a little feminine. That's
right. When you're this masculine, you can be feminine and not have to worry about anything.
Balances out. Do you guys have any questions about skin? We are going to talk about three things that were mentioned last time. Styes, wrinkles, and scars today.
That sounds like my last Tinder date.
Styes Thighs, wrinkles, and scars. Wow. Wow.
That sounds bad. All right.
It is bad.
Yes.
So do you have any questions or thoughts on skin today? What is going on for you?
Hey, Christine. So, and Melinda, does anybody know the little rhyme? Like my mom always had, I got a sty in my eye and blah, 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 blah.
No, I've never heard that before.
God dang it. She might have
Have
been
you
making
guys
stuff
ever
up.
heard that before?
Someone's got to solve it because it's in my head. I tried to look it up on Google. I couldn't find it. She might have been making stuff up.
I change the subject real quick. I do have to say, per the last show, I have been drinking more water because I have dry skin. Hello, my name is Holly and I have dry skin. And it is making a difference.
You look glowing.
Well, I mean, you don't always have to compliment me, you know, but...
oh, I'm sorry. I saw my reflection in the screen over there.
Here's Alfredo, our favorite.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Alfredo. How's your skin tonight?
Do you know Alfredo?
Alfredo and I are best friends.
Oh, that's not true.
You need to quit being jealous of our
You're
relationship.
thinking about marinara. Or pesto.
Thank you.
Alfredo.
He has always got my back.
She was talking about how much she likes pesto better than Alfredo. So,
all right, so
yeah.
styes.
Styes.
We're going to jump right out the gate with styes.
And in the South, they're not called wrinkles, they're called rankles.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah, that's
Oh my gosh.
patent pending.
Somebody from the South, please chime in.
All right, so
He needs to be checked.
what the
please.
hell's a sty?
Look.
What?
Linda says she had 2nd and 3rd degree burns on her arm, so with it constantly being exposed to the sun, will she get cancer easier?
No, but you're gonna get wrinkles.
It's also hypersensitive.
Yeah, it's more of a histamine issue.
Can you get wrinkle? Do scars produce wrinkles?
No, scars, no. So wrinkles, when we talk about, is breakdown of elastin and collagen, which makes your skin kind of loosey-goosey, and so then it folds upon itself. But scars basically pull stuff in. So like if a woman has a breast and she has like a post-biopsy or a scar, it'll suck that tissue in.
Oh.
Like a
Yeah,
dent.
like a
Even
dent.
Yeah.
I've got a dent. I've got a weird little crossy dent from my heart surgery.
Oh, well, let's see.
No.
Yeah, it's right here.
Do not ask a woman to show her
It's
belly
here.
on. No, it's down a little bit lower.
Okay,
Near where the belly fat is.
So wait, you had heart surgery.
I have a big
your
long
belly?
heart surgery scar, but then right below I have a little crisscross scar right below the heart surgery incision.
What did they do there?
I think probably shoved a tube in there for some kind of drainage, or
Did they give you a heart?
maybe they pulled some fat out. I don't know. Did they give me a heart?
Did you have a sister that was inside of you, and then she
They
was trying
pulled out my twin.
she was trying to eat you from the
My
inside out?
subdermal twin.
What's that called?
Yes.
I think that's what
So
happened.
speaking of scars, I have a giant one. It's probably not like a burn scar, which I would assume would be much more spread out. Because she said she had burn scars.
Oh yeah, yeah. They have a way now that they do airbrushing of stem cells from pigs, pig intestines, and then they can airbrush it over burn patients, and they'll grow back perfectly normal because it's all stem cells.
There's probably a time frame though when that'll work, which is pre-healing.
Well, so I was thinking about that. So, what if somebody's all scarred and they heal up, right? So then it's all fibrin. But what if they reburn them and then do that treatment? And they're even doing fish skin as a treatment.
Yes, I've seen fish skin before. But
Yeah.
Why would anybody get reburned?
So then they spray the stem cells on there, and then it'll grow back to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'd do that.
Well, so Linda, she says you won't get cancer. You'll just get
Bunch of
sun
wrinkles.
damage
Bunch of wrinkles.
on her burn scars.
Boom. So the burn scars, like sun damage. So, we'll talk about this a little bit today too. The sun can damage your skin just like oxidation or any other thing that we do. But it's that constant repairing and prevention that's the big deal. So like we always say that, like, if you feed a baby too many carrots, the baby turns orange, right? And if it turns really orange, then it runs for president.
Oh, wow.
Right? So the beta carotenes, the carotenoids, when you eat those foods, they actually go to your skin to make retinol A or vitamin A, and then that is what protects your DNA and skin from damage from the sun.
I'm not sure the president is eating a lot of carrots.
No, he's spraying on that. They probably still carrots though. It's orange.
Carrot mask.
But so when you have like severe burns, the golden is to amp up your clinical nutrition part for your carotenoids. So eating lots of orange food, red food, purple food, green food, lots of deep dark colors, and then that will help restore the normal protection from the sun. So there's less damage that's happening. Stop putting chemicals on your skin that cause damage, like benzenes. And then you want to restore any mutated DNA, and you do that through butyrate, which is through eating fruits and vegetables that are dark colored, and that fiber binds to the sugars, and then that 80% of those sugars in the fruit and vegetable, and then that makes fructooligosaccharides, and then fructooligosaccharides, which is prebiotic, feeds your gut bacteria, and those gut bacteria, the 750,000 species of gut bacteria, they then make B vitamins, which make you healthier and happier.
Yes.
And they'll donate methyl groups to turn on
Can
and
you
off
get
genes.
to the point already?
And then, this is all intellectual foreplay here. And then,
For you.
maybe.
It's one-sided.
So then, that butyrate is also made by that, and that feeds DNA polymerase, and DNA polymerase edits out DNA mutations at the rate of 10,000 mutations a day per cell.
So how many of you within the last year
Man, why don't you care about
have
that? That's important information.
let that sink in, process it, rewind the video when it's a recording? How many of you have incorporated new fruits and vegetables in your diet within the last year?
Yeah.
And if so, what?
You're talking about eggplants?
What are you eating more of? For me, what have you incorporated more of in the last year? Anything?
When I was in Belize, Central America, in the jungles, I incorporated a new little fruit that you, it's got a hard skin, you bite it, and then it has this little meaty kind of stuff, and then it has a big seed. And I found those in Thailand also, when I was in the island of Phuket. So I've been trying to eat more of those.
I have been eating a lot more dark leafy greens.
Like what?
Kale.
Kale.
Spinach.
Wait, dinosaur kale?
No. I don't know what kind of kale it is.
Dinosaur kale is the long, pretty leaves, and those are actually more tender and less bitter.
Dinosaur kale is where it's at. You heard
Dinosaur
it here,
kale.
folks.
Ooh, which, by the way, you should go to John's farm over on Maze.
Cicada. What's it called?
Yeah.
Cicada.
Friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you taste the stuff. It's so good.
But I kind of already have a boyfriend who has his own garden.
Yeah, but he's not growing it right.
You don't know that.
I do too.
We've had
He's
complete
Mennonite.
meals.
I bet he's turning the soil, isn't he? Breaking up all those
We don't know.
fungal
We don't
transport chains that can be up to 30 feet deep that bring the nutrients to the plant, so you don't have to keep doing stuff to the plant.
You don't know what people are doing. So
I know what Mennonites be doing.
You don't know that he's taking the Mennonite approach. So my mother, Linda says her mother grows Asian pears.
That's racist.
It doesn't matter if it's racist. We just want to know, is it giving her antioxidants and good benefits?
Right, but not as good as something even darker and richer in color. So
Like what?
So
But if you have a choice between an Asian pear and a candy bar, you need to eat the Asian pear.
What if you have a difference between an Asian pear and a Caucasian pear, like Bartlett?
Okay, Bartlett.
Would you pick the Asian?
I'd pick whichever one was darkest.
That's racist. So, when I was in Japan and on the island Okinawa, they had Asian pears that size of like softballs. They were huge.
Uh-huh.
'Huh. Huge. Uh-huh. Huge. The apples were ginormous too.
Is that all you have to say? That was a really good story. Thank you, Dr. Garrett.
Why are you always talking trash? You could talk about all the places you went in Kansas.
I didn't find any pears. Giant pears. City. But I don't share that because they might not find that interesting.
You don't want to make people jealous about all your trips around Kansas, do you?
So, but I do want to hear about what people are doing that's new and that's healthy. So, anything new in your life that you're adding?
I want to say there's something else.
I've been adding more just green vegetables. So okra. By the way, did you know you can just eat okra raw? I did not know
this.
That's
nasty. I tried that in the garden.
I love it. Are there any okra fans out there?
Especially if it's warm.
Hello, Stacy.
It's gross.
Okra's delicious. Yeah. Okra and beans. We had a ton of fresh beans. Green beans the other day.
I eat those fresh.
Lots of greens.
What am I eating?
If you were going to fill your plate, what would that look like, portion-wise? Dr. G, what's your perfect plate look like?
I like a ahi tuna tartare with avocado and Bragg's aminos mixed in there with some Sancho 7-spice Japanese.
Is that a sauce?
No, it's just a spice.
Oh, okay.
I learned about that when I was in Japan.
Linda's drinking more kombucha.
Kombucha's dope. I have it under my sink, but haven't been making more. And you're
Ryan made a hibiscus kombucha recently.
See, total Mennonite. Hibiscus kombucha. I like hibiscus kombucha though. That's really good. So, yeah. I like put a bunch of protein powder in my kombucha so I can get super jacked.
So, no matter what, in almost every conversation we have, we know whole fruits and vegetables are going to come into this.
Right, yeah. Well, especially with all the skin stuff, like it really is heavy. Fruits and vegetables, like just that, like it's such a no-brainer with those kind of things.
But it's a no-brainer, but the question is, are you doing it?
Yes.
Are you actually doing it, and how much?
Yes, that's...
When your plate should be at least half full with vegetables.
No, it should be all
fruits.
Vegetables. It should be all vegetables.
Some people
eat vegetarian and flavor with a little meat.
Okay. According to Dr. G, it's even more than that, but I'm trying to give them one step at a time.
No steps. You just jump to the end and you just get healthy fast.
So
you're like, okay, you do half the crack cocaine, just do a little dab of benzene on your skin, and then add in like a fruit or like that.
No.
All right.
But in terms of making lifestyle changes, the research shows that when people make small, consistent changes, they continue those changes.
Are you bringing up research to
Disney? Yes, I am.
That's cold.
So we were talking about
sty. No,
we didn't even get to styes. We got segued.
You got all caught up on your trips to Thailand and Japan.
Yeah.
So tell me what the real name is for sty.
Chalazion.
Nope. It sounds even worse.
Eyelid bullet.
Sounds like lazy Chileans. Look at all these Chalazians.
Sty.
So it's called horgulum, which sounds so horgulum. You don't want
say sty.
You don't want your horgulum turn into a Chalazian.
That's true. So they probably don't know what a Chalazian is, but
it's a lazy
let's talk about
Chilean
styes.
person.
What styes are first?
A sty in my eye.
That's where the doctor gets all his research, his children's nursery rhymes.
I know, I'll remember it. But, so a sty is like a pimple. So you have all these little hair follicles on your eyes. So you got eyelashes on top and bottom. And of course, all hair also has a little lotion factory. So a lot of times when people do lotions and makeup and stuff, they'll plug up those ducts. Or if they use a lot of abrasion, they'll actually damage that tissue, and then basically that lotion factory, instead of pushing lotion out to make it all over, make these soft lashes, it'll get built up, and then it'll start making a pimple. So a sty is a pimple in your eye. That rhymes. So what you do is you try to squirt it as hard.
No, you don't try to pop it.
You don't pop your eye pimples?
No.
Well, then we ought to do, so you're not supposed to, theoretically, they just don't want you to have fun. Because a sty is full of, like a lot of pimples, they can cause other things, but staph bacteria, which is naturally all over you, even Staph aureus, even MRSA is probably all over you too. And so we don't get infections from exposure, we get infections when our barriers go down. So that Staph aureus can be problematic, maybe, but when you squirt it, if you squeeze your little sty and then you spray that pus all over your eyeball, then you have the possibility of maybe like spreading it.
Turn off your recording like 5 seconds ago. Go on. I'm sorry.
So then
you were being serious.
What?
Go on.
So then, will you allow me?
Yes, I'll allow you to continue.
Oh, may I continue?
That's why I'm the boss.
Okay, so it shouldn't, but I guess for safe measures don't. But basically, it's a pimple. Go ahead. So you've had it's been a long ass time since I had a sty. I pulled the hair out when I had a sty.
Ideally, what you want to try and do is bring that pimple sty to a head.
Right.
By putting warm compresses on it as much as possible, as soon as possible when they start appearing.
What about a cold press if it hurts?
I suppose maybe for swelling, but wouldn't that, you want to draw that junk up to the top.
Yeah. So you're right. So yeah, like a warm compress, so like what? Like a warm wash rag with hot water on it? Yeah. So that's good. What else?
Well, I was just going to say, there for a while I would get a sty every now and again that I couldn't get to come to a head, and it would turn into this sort of hard little grain of sand or a chalazion in my eyelid.
Yeah.
And that it basically encapsulates. The body says, this isn't something the body's supposed to have, so I'm going to encapsulate it like a pearl.
Oh, yes. A nice, juicy, waxy pearl.
Yeah, it's the gross kind of pearl in your eyelid. The problem with that is that it takes forever to go away. There just wasn't anything that I was able to do, but it does go away. So if you have had them or get them or get one in the future, and you're not sure what to do about it, and it has already encapsulated, it will go away. It just takes some time, and your eyelid just will look weird.
Yeah.
For a while.
So it's not a good time to be single. You gotta like stick with the relationship.
Don't go dating. Yeah.
They'll be like, "What's up with your eye?" And like, "Don't worry, it's just an oozy pimple that's dried up, and it'll get rid of it."
What are some other alternatives that we can do for styes?
Well, Holly, I'm glad you asked. So, like, I always like the old school putting a potato slice on there, or like a cucumber, or like a tea bag. Do you guys ever see Sex in the City, the tea bag episode? It's different.
Yeah, that would be different.
So, tea bags on your eyes. So, probably like just post on Facebook to see if anybody has any suggestions about putting tea bags on your eyes. Like, post that on Facebook. That'd be good. If they can come over and help you. But, like, it's a lot of times they say black tea, but black tea is oxidized. The chalazion is oxidized sebum oil. So you don't want to add more oxidants to this. You want antioxidants. So a white tea bag, a yellow tea bag, a green tea bag. That's going to be better.
Or a coriander seed.
What?
Tea eye flush.
Tell me about coriander. Do you use that?
I have not, but on our research...
No, the cardamom pods. That's not the same thing.
Cardamom's different than coriander, I think.
What do you use coriander for?
I'm not a big cook. Anybody know what you use? What do you use coriander for?
I feel like it's Indian food.
It has antibacterial properties and is safe for your eyeball, so you can make a tea out of coriander and flush your eyeball with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. And so, yeah, I mean, that basically that warmth from the tea bag, you can do that, or you can do cold tea bags like the cold potato and cold
for pain relief.
Cucumber, yeah. And then it's kind of funny because potato, like raw potato, you can put over a splinter and it should help suck out the splinter. Have you ever done that?
I have not.
Well, that's part of our skin.
I usually use tweezers.
Tweezers?
That's the most all-natural approach I go with.
Did you hear about my tick incident?
Yes, you told us about it in one of the shows for like a good 20 minutes.
That tick could not get blood from me. That's how tough I am.
Here we go.
I got malignant cancer on
Buckle
my back.
down.
Big old scar.
Buckle down.
Bigger than her heart scar, right? And when they took that out, they said that my body had walled off that cancer.
You know what?
Cancer and ticks.
My sternum was completely opened up. I don't want to hear about your little skin cancer.
Little.
This is a competition, by the way. Are we done with styes? Do you guys have any questions about styes?
Oh, what about tea tree?
Okay, tell us about it.
Tea tree, I think, so I've had patients use tea tree on their eye. Sometimes it burns people, so I don't know if you want to do that. And they caution about not using it anyways. But that's traditionally what people use.
What about frankincense?
So frankincense knocks down the inflammation. That would be a good one. But maybe like lemongrass oil or eucalyptus.
Lemongrass is strong. That can burn.
So you got to dilute.
Yeah.
You use clove. I put clove directly over here.
Clove can burn too.
It burned the hell
on your
out of my
eyeball.
skin.
Be careful with your eyeball.
Yeah. So if you're gonna put essential oils on your eye, like if you just put it just here a little bit, like close to that area, it'll absorb into there anyways.
On the lid itself, but not in the eyeball.
Yeah.
By the way, word of caution: never put essential oils in your ear.
Why is that?
Never.
I always tell patients that.
No.
With a half olive oil
Don't
right
do
there?
it. I had an emergency one time.
What'd you put in there?
Frankincense.
See, some people it burns.
Oh, it was awful.
Oh, you know what you do is you just put more olive oil in there. You should put some Newman's Own salad
I did
dressing.
put oil. I did put extra oil in there to dilute it, and it did help, but it took forever. It was awful.
Yeah.
So be very careful with essential oils in general.
Yeah, not everybody's really tough or strong.
Oh, somebody said there was a guy that got a tick in the eyeball.
Yes.
How does that even happen? How did he not feel that?
Well, they can be like tiny.
I hate ticks so bad. I hate ticks so bad.
They use citronella oil to prevent
I will cover. I cover everything with a barrier, even if it's 100 degrees out.
Mm-hmm.
I wear long pants. I pull up the socks when I go hiking. Yeah. Tuck your shirt in.
You look like a hobo.
I look so uncool. Tuck your shirt in. Cover yourself. That's the only way.
I bet they love your hair.
No, because I always wear a hat.
Damn it. Right. You put citronella in your hair?
I just spray citronella all over my clothes.
That's all I do. I don't get anything.
Anyway, styes. Any more questions on styes?
Sty. So it's an eye pimple. Don't pop it unless it's on someone else and you really enjoy that. Green tea. Maybe essential oils, but use it with the doctor's help. Kind of the recommendations. And then warm compresses, coriander seed tea, green tea. And they usually heal in about a week. If they don't heal in a week, it usually it's created a chalazion from your horgelum. And then the chalazion is just oxidized, dried in there. So one of the things, too, is making sure you're drinking lots of water because that oil is getting too thick. And that's also part of what plugs that up.
Speaking of that, Stacy, you said earlier you were talking about some of the things that you were trying to do, and some of those things were difficult.
Like in Thailand?
No. I would recommend thinking about what you would like to see happen or how you would like to be healthy, but then picking one very small thing that you could start with that makes sense, that may be super small, but something that's really doable and realistic for you.
For like eating?
For eating good foods and drinking water. You brought up drinking water, and she said she doesn't drink enough water.
Put berries in your water. You can put like a tiny bit of little juice in your water. Just not very much. Make teas. Those count as water except for black tea. So that kind of helps with getting that. Or a lot of people make ginger water or turmeric water.
You might, like, in terms of the foods, like, pull up a list of foods, just a grocery list that'll give you some ideas. Sometimes it's hard to know, or just from memory think about, well, what could I eat, or what might be a healthy food that I like. Sometimes it helps to have a list in front of you. And then you're just starting with maybe 1 serving a day of that food.
Yeah.
So...
small, tangible steps.
That's right.
All right, what are we talking about?
So, we talked about styes. Which do you guys want to talk about? Do you want to talk about wrinkles or scars?
Mm-hmm.
Wrinkles or scars?
Scar was the bad guy on
Wrinkles
Lion King.
or scars? When my
You have both.
allergies start, I always...
You've got...
You know what?
You have good wrinkles because you have crow's feet.
You're
That's
going to
from
have
smiling.
a big old bruise in
That's
your
from
throat.
smiling. Look, I got crow's feet from smiling.
Wrinkles. Okay, when my allergies start, I always get styes. Okay, when allergies start,
Really?
she gets styes.
That's because it's overproducing sebum in response to the inflammatory histamine process.
Okay.
And then if they're dehydrated, then it's too thick, and then you're more likely to get a stye.
So, okay, so important to drink that water no matter what. I
Exactly.
really think the water helps with just flushing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
keeping everything moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that would be one thing to start with.
So we're going to talk about wrinkles?
Rankles.
Rankles.
Kim said it.
Wrinkles, the new country jeans for moms.
Ranklers.
Ranklers. Ranklers. So, wrinkles. So, okay, look at my skin.
What kind of wrinkles are we talking about here?
What?
Crow's feet.
That's good wrinkles.
Neck wrinkles.
That's like turkey neck.
Is that turkey neck?
I think
Mine's
like
starting to droop a
wrinkles
little
on the
bit.
Skin. Like I have,
Hand.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Probably facial wrinkles is probably what most people are struggling with.
So one little experiment you can do is you can pull up the skin on the back of your hand, and then you let it go, and you see how long it takes to return to normal. See how? Well, yours is pretty fast. Mine's pretty fast too. Look at that. So if you do this and it still has part of that sticking up, like I can make it do this. If I put,
You need some elastin.
see, so you have collagen. Collagen is where you don't have thin skin, so I'm not ripping it off. But elastin is the thing that brings the skin back down, like elastic rubber bands that are in your skin. So these are like coiled up, where collagen is more like lines. So these basically are like little springs of rubber bands. You pull the spring out and it goes back down, right? But our body is no older than 10 years of age. Our skin is just usually days to weeks old. So we have this constant production of collagen and elastin to keep our skin from tearing and allow it to return back to the normal amount. But we also live in an environment where we are constantly causing damage. And if you have this much damage occurring to your elastin, but this much repair, well, then you're going to get wrinkles, right? But if you have this much repair and this much damage, then you're going to get the slow aging process. And when you're young, it's more like this. So that's why kids don't have wrinkles. So even though I'm 32 years old, shut it down. Shut it down.
32.
42 is the new 32.
You're not even 42.
72 is the new.
Finally, you're being honest with us.
Once you get over 40, you just tell people you're 60 and 70, because then they're just like, oh my god.
You look so young.
You look amazing, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're like, I'm 40, and like, wow, life's been kind of hard on you, huh? So, you can test. So if that elastin is not rebounding as fast as it should, that means you're getting more damage than you're able to repair.
What causes that damage, Dr. G? I know you already said
You say, you know it.
chemicals and
Nope.
things like that, but I was going to say
chemicals.
Solar damage.
Solar, yeah.
So we do get sun damage.
So a lot of people know you get things like cancer from windmills. I heard that on the news with someone.
Mm-hmm.
But so that those windmills age the skin and that's where you get the cancer from. So
they're terrible.
So solar damage. So you have the sun, and again, the sun's good. It's wonderful, right? And so it goes to your skin. It helps make vitamin D. It releases nitrous oxide from arginine, which then dilates your blood vessels, keeps a healthy blood pressure. But some of that solar ray is penetrating and causing damage, which is okay, right? But it's that slow accumulation of this much damage, but this much nutrition. So as we get older, we have less resiliency, we get less and less nutrition, and then that surplus is gone, and then we start having tangible, noticeable, lasting damage.
As we get older, we really need to make sure we're getting those nutrients.
Boom. So yeah, you're back to vitamin C, which is pretty much every single fruit and vegetable.
Vitamin C. Oh, I have a question.
I have a vague answer.
That's what I count on. How does smoking cause wrinkles? Is that oxidation?
Yeah, exactly. So we said that solar damage caused that, but also oxidation damage is going to destroy that. So like you gave that wonderful dissertation about how oxidation works. You know, it's you have these things that steal, like superoxides, that steal an electron from something, and so then that damages that tissue.
Mm-hmm.
So smoking not only does that to blood vessels, but in your eyes and your kidneys, but it's also going to do it everywhere. So men and women that smoke a lot, you'll notice that they age hell of a lot faster, because all they're doing is puffing on oxidation to then accelerate the aging process and destroy things like elastin and even the telomeres of their DNA, and then all the blood vessels of the eyes all the way down to the heart and stuff. So so that's what big part. The other thing is there's other toxic chemicals in there too, we'll say that. So all those superoxides are reversed through antioxidants that donate that electron to stabilize the tissue.
What about vaping?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's go outside and vape.
Does vaping do the same thing, I wonder?
No, vaping does horribly toxic chemicals like antifreeze. Vape, and those flavors are from coal tar, so they mutate chromosomes like chromosome 12, and then that causes things like leukemia and lymphomas and all kinds of cancers.
Okay.
Plus, it's antifreeze, so then you're getting chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, and then your life sucks, so then you're just like, I might as well vape more. And then you end up like my mom, where everything's falling apart. She's like, might as well not stop smoking now. It's all over. It's kind of like when your car's all screwed up as hell, and then you're like, why not drive over the curb? It doesn't matter at this point.
All right, we have a question.
That's Jacqueline.
Jacqueline
Jacqueline is a kung fu master at Taekwondo.
Okay, that is excellent.
So don't talk trash to her.
Jacqueline and I are like best friends.
You don't know Jacqueline.
Okay, so she says that beeswax is really good for moisturizing the skin. Also read that eating royal jelly is supposed to reduce...
Mm-hmm.
I can't see the rest of that post, but it won't let me. Oh, there we go. Reduce wrinkles, but that seems like a fairy tale. I don't know. I just like bees.
Oh, so if you eat the bees, so like a lot of people eat the honey, you really got to eat the bees. So you know what's funny is epigenetically, I learned at the University of Melbourne School of Medicine when I was taking my course on epigenetics. It's not a big deal, you know. But at University of Melbourne, they talked about the epigenetics of like bees, right? So what Jacqueline's talking about. So if you take all bees are the same bee when they're a baby, right? But if you feed that bee royal jelly, what does that bee become?
A king?
No.
Part of the monarchy?
It becomes a queen. Yeah, right? And then it's like, let's have a parade. So it becomes a queen bee. You make queen bees by feeding the royal jelly because the royal jelly triggers very specific epigenetic pathways that create a different thing, right? Huh. But if you feed it the other stuff, well then it just becomes a worker bee. Just like alligator eggs, epigenetically they're the same. Male, female, it's the same.
So what does it do to us?
Well, it doesn't interrupt while we're talking about alligator eggs.
What else would you like to say about that?
I feel like my point was made.
Okay.
So alligator eggs are male and female both, and then depending on the temperature, it makes it convert to male or female. So when you look at things like bee pollen and you look at things like royal jelly, they're super dense with nutrients and phytonutrients that then do wonderful things to our bodies, especially they're packed full of antioxidants. So again, turning different, it actually alters genetic structure, but it turns on and off genes, but then it also helps undo things like wrinkles.
I mean, I already feel like a queen, but I suppose I would be open to it.
Have you been eating royal jelly?
No.
Then you ain't gonna be no queen. You're just a worker.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in terms of wrinkles and what we do for these things that in terms of ranklers. And what we do for these.
Yes.
Things topically that we can do to help. What are those things?
Well, topically.
Topically. What about coconut oil?
So coconut oil back in 1934.
Here we go.
1950. By 1950, they were using a benzene-derived sunscreen that had an SPF of 8. Used paramino-benzene, and that is so cancer-causing that they removed it from the market. But it had the same SPF as coconut oil. So, like taking coconut oil, or making coconut oil lotion, or buying it, it actually has a natural sunscreen built in.
I love it. Alafia has a good coconut oil lotion.
I use Alafia. No, is that Everyday
No, I
Shea?
use Alafia first.
Is that Everyday Shea?
I don't know. It's by Alafia.
You got a lot of attitude about this whole Alafia thing.
So, Alafia helps support women in Africa. Buy them.
You know I'm part African, right?
No.
So that really means a lot to me.
So,
I got one gene in 25,000 genes that's African. And I feel like you're speaking to my people.
I need to do 23andMe to know more about
You are going to find out you are like a cracker's cracker. You're going to be all British.
No.
You're going to have no ethnicity at all.
Everybody came from Africa. Genetically.
Because there are 4 genetic strains of humans that live on this earth. There is...
But where do they...
The white folks lived in the north, which are Neanderthals, which is a species of
human. They traced the DNA, though.
No, that's modern human DNA.
Okay.
So that Neanderthals we thought were extinct, and then we did all this genetic testing. We found out these white people are all the crackers are Neanderthals.
I'm
right?
offended.
You should be
offended.
Right. Okay. And then why do all the crackers live in the rich though? That's the question. So then, true human modern DNA we trace back to Africa. So modern human DNA is African. White DNA is Neanderthal DNA. And then Polynesians have another strain of human, and so they're more like their facial features are very different, like Asians.
And you're saying they all arrived in different places? Their origin was in a different place?
We don't know, right? Isn't that weird? And then they found a new genetic strain of human that are pygmies that lived in the Philippines in the caves. And so those explain why you have white and black that met at the Middle East, and then they bred and they created brown people, and then the Polynesians have the Asian kind of look, so then they bred with brown people, and then they make Asian looking people, and then the Filipinos, they made a bunch of short people, and then they all kind of bred together, and then we created all these kind of like intermediate, but it's a bunch of inbreeding of all these species, which makes one question to what if we are the aliens, and there was 4 different species of aliens that landed on Earth or crashed on Earth, and then they roamed around and then finally started breeding with each other, and then we think we're supposed to be here, right?
Somebody I know calls these star seeds.
I was watching the pyramid code this morning when I fell asleep.
Is that by Da Vinci?
No.
Is that by the Da Vinci Code author?
No, it's all conspiracy stuff.
Oh, boo.
So, okay. Aliens created everything.
So back to the topic of the show.
All the wrinkles.
So speaking of skin color, we were talking about coconut oil. We've talked about what we can ingest. So we know vitamin C, fruits and vegetables for sure, and we also mentioned healthy fats in previous shows.
Yeah.
So vitamin C, fruits and vegetables, whole foods in their original form. We want omega-3s and healthy fats. We want to be ingesting those, plus tons of water.
Yes.
So for healthy skin internally, that's what we want to do. I have a quick question before we get to more topical items.
Yes. Is this about the aliens?
Talk about the difference in skin aging for those people of more color versus less, genetically. Weren't you talking about that?
You mean black people?
Yeah. Yes.
So, you notice, like I noticed, that a lot of black people age very, very slowly. So I have like 80-year-old patients and they look like they're 30. Like you never know how old anybody is. Same with Asians, right? But there's actually a gene that's the aging process. 25% of all your genes dictate age and longevity, which means 75% of all your aging process is actually diet and lifestyle. But there's very specific genes that they found that actually delay or slow down the aging process. So you have certain cultures that you'll notice like that they just don't wrinkle. And like I even have a few patients that even are Caucasian and they have no wrinkles. They're almost 70 and they have no wrinkles.
And I wasn't listening to everything that you said.
That's some straight up bullcrap.
Everything you said. What were you saying that was genetic?
I know why.
Were you saying,
I know why.
Are you saying that was genetic? Or
were you daydreaming? What are you daydreaming with her about something?
I'm professional. I was thinking about lots and lots of other things. What? Wait.
What?
What? Was it genetic or was it lifestyle you said for those people?
Well, so it's a little bit, a little bit of genetic and then a little bit of lifestyle. But again, some people have genes. So we have like 20 to 25,000 genes for our 6-foot DNA that goes in every single cell. And most of our genes are turned off, but there's some specific genes that you'll find in species of humans or people that you don't see in others. So like there's genes that are more typical for Jewish people, there's typical for black people, there's more typical for Asian people. So when you look at genetic like 23andMe reports, you'll notice that this gene is more traditional for these people, and then if you have it, it's probably off on you,
Okay.
So then you have the one for it's the Ellen gene.
Don't you think there's some sort of evolution though too? Are more darker people closer to the equator originally? Did they?
Well, yeah. Well, Africa's Africa's huge. Like it goes almost all the way down to the Antarctica.
Is it equator and below? I don't know. I'm guessing. I was just thinking about the evolution of skin color.
So, well, then you'd look at say Middle South America and say, what do those people look like? And those people a lot of times age like crazy fast.
Okay.
Yeah. Those people.
Most people cannot guess my age, but my mother was 45 and still getting carded to buy alcohol. Aww.
Who's that, Jacqueline?
Uh-huh.
She's 13. I don't know how old Jacqueline is, but she looks young.
Okay.
She looks so young that Epstein tried to go out with her, and then she was like, I'm over 18. He's like, oh, I'm out.
Gross.
It is gross.
Do you want to share your age, Jacqueline? You don't have to.
Tell us your age.
You don't have to.
You have to now.
You don't have to. I said no.
You're the one that asked the question. You can't shut it down.
Okay. Oh, she's 34, see? That's way older than 13. That's good. You're always going to look young.
She looks young. Just like Sierra. She always looks way too young, too.
Okay, so
Jacqueline has a gene turn on.
For wrinkles, we're drinking, we're eating good healthy fats, we're eating good whole foods.
Lots of fish. The other thing, too, on wrinkles, right? So you have lots of people that use sunscreen on their skin, and they get higher and higher SPF. Now, Sunscreen that's 35 SPF is 97% protection against UVB. 35 gets you 80. 35 gets you 97.
Gets you everything you need.
50 gets you 98. 100 gets you 99. You see what I'm saying? So never really have to worry about going above 35. But one of the things that we talked about last time was anything above 35, you're dramatically decreasing the UVBs, but you're allowing the UVAs. And then that imbalance actually can cause a greater aging process. So,
you may not get, well, you may get skin cancer.
Right, because you're still damaging tissue.
Yeah.
So that's where, again, you go back to diet. Since the dawn of man, right, or woman, sunscreen has always been food. Always been food. Because God wasn't like, you guys are so screwed. I need the sun to kill y'all. But I hope somebody figures out sunscreen.
I know it sounds boring, folks.
And that's why in 1934, the rate of skin cancer was this high. And then by 2020, it's like this high.
We're just trying to make it interesting. We're saying the same thing in different ways.
Yeah. That's how you keep relationships spicy, eh? Brian.
What else can you do topically? We didn't finish that. What about magnesium lotion?
For what?
I don't know.
No, that's bullshit. So don't worry about that.
Okay, don't.
Magnesium is for greens. So eat your greens because your greens have vitamin C in it, which then makes you more have elastin. And the more you nurture that elastin, the better your skin's going to be. Same thing with collagen. The thing that builds elastin, which is the rubber bands, is the same thing that builds the collagen. If you're going to use a little something, eat lots of dark, rich colors, foods, put a little coconut oil, a little laugh in. Tell my people.
What do you think about shea butter?
It's good.
I'm just going to keep throwing random
Cocoa
things
butter's
out.
good.
What about avocado?
Yeah. I take avocado and I just rub guacamole all over me. And then I go to the club to meet the girls and they're just like, is that guacamole? I was like, it's extra.
That's the most realistic story I've ever heard. Dr. Garrett. Thank you for that.
So the thing that builds collagen is the same thing that builds elastin. So if you want strong skin that doesn't rip off, but also returns back to normal.
Hi, Debbie.
Then you have to eat lots of fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and berries and legumes and greens with the darkest, richest colors, just like they did since the dawn of man.
Okay. Message sent, message delivered, message heard.
I figure you're going to say delete. Oh, that's the last one's...
What about, wait, I'm just going to throw some things out.
Yeah.
Jojoba oil.
That's pronounced jojoba.
That's racist.
So what's jojoba made of?
I don't know.
Is it made of jojobas? What the hell's a jojoba? Okay, so
I
I've been
don't know.
doing clinical nutrition for a long time, and every now and then I'm just like,
I just remember it from like the 80s.
What the hell
I
is
remember
that?
seeing jojoba or jojoba on lotion bottles. Does anybody else remember this?
What is a jojoba? Is that a plant?
We're going to answer this next show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing it down right now.
What is a jojoba?
Or jojoba.
It'd be funny. Holly Hajaj and
Holly
is
jojoba.
eating jojoba.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Any other questions on wrinkles?
Wrinkles.
Thoughts? Triggers?
I'm triggered now.
Concerns?
I'm concerned.
Worries?
Now.
Do you know what to do? Do you know what your next step is in terms of this? What are you going to choose to do differently as a result of this show?
Yes.
What will you do next?
Probably go
for
out to
your
eat on
skin?
Tuesday nights.
Go to taco shop. Go out to eat.
Stop watching the show.
Tacos are really good for your skin.
Yes. Because of the guacamole.
Oh, here we go.
See?
I have some. Do you need some? Is that avocado? Oh, jojoba? Is it jojoba?
That Debbie Cruz?
Yeah.
Where does she get hers from?
I don't know. We'll
She
find
make it?
out. Maybe she'll tell us.
Debbie makes it, I bet.
Drink more water.
Yes.
She's got,
Drink
Kim,
lots of
Kim
water.
is going to drink more water. How much water should we drink? Do you remember, Kim? Were you with us on that show? My Asian blood got me covered on the wrinkles. Lucky.
Who said that? Jacqueline?
Debbie has wrinkles.
Linda.
Okay.
Yeah.
So rub myself with guacamole. Yes.
Boom.
Yes. Good answer.
I can't do that. There we go.
Okay.
Rub myself with
What about vitamin E?
So vitamin E is in a little thing I like to call fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, red legumes, and greens. And it's crazy. It's like the vitamin E that we use like alpha or delta tocopherol, but that's not real vitamin E. Vitamin E is
in supplement form.
Right. It's 8 things. It's 4 tocotrienols, 4 tocopherols mixed together. So
you're only going to get that in food form.
That's right. Alpha, beta, delta, and gamma. But legally, we can take one of those things and call it vitamin E, and then make it into oil and give it to people.
Vitamin E actually had its own sorority and fraternity at one point. Alpha, beta, delta, gamma. He doesn't even get
that joke went right over my head.
It did. That was weird.
Holy crap! You get so clever.
I was always clever. You just never gave me the time to be clever.
That's because you always had a ponytail and you were in overalls and were reading Sylvia Plath and you had paint on your overalls.
That was me in the 90s.
That's right. And then she one day took her ponytail up like this and then wore normal clothes, and then she said...
And turned into Wonder Woman?
They had their own fraternity and sorority. And then everybody laughed, and then she became prom queen.
You wouldn't listen to me until I stopped wearing the overalls. That's what happened.
That's right.
Half your body weight in ounces of water, but if you start eating a lot of water-filled foods, whole foods, it may not need to be that much.
That's right.
You will pee like a racehorse several times a day at first to cleanse out all those toxins, but that should level out.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah. Someday.
I was working it, see?
You can also wear a diaper and drink lots of water.
You could wear a diaper. You could put just a calf, a prophylactic.
She was working it.
I was working it. She said I was working it.
She's just saying that because she's a woman and she's trying to keep solidarity with women.
That's right.
When will the white man ever get his day in this world? We are the most oppressed people ever. We have to give up all our rights so everybody else could be equal.
I'd say way to alienate your primary demographic, Dr. Garrett.
White man? There ain't no white man watching this.
No, alienate your primary demographic, which are women.
No, I know. I'm joking, though. They know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Linda was saying only drink water when you're thirsty.
No. Thirst is when you're dehydrated.
Thirst is when you've gone too far.
Too far, yeah.
I'm thirsty all the time.
Yeah.
It's probably because of the diabetes.
She got diabetes type 5. It's called pretendinitis.
Pretendinitis.
It's where she just constantly thinks she on WebMD oh, I think I have ear cancer.
I call him up sometimes and he's like, "You're fine." It hangs up.
Tell him the beet one.
The what? The beets.
I had a patient last night ask me about this.
What?
The beets?
No, tell. Someone said they like your stories tonight. So.
It's gross.
Well, if it's is it TMI? Is it inappropriate?
It's inappropriate. But so what happened was Holly texted me all these inappropriate questions about health, and so then she
What's
said,
inappropriate?
She said, "Oh my God, the toilet's all red. I think I'm bleeding to death." And I was just like,
"Beets, I forgot about this."
So I was going through questions like, "Well, that doesn't sound right." And asked her all these questions, and she turns out she ate a bunch of beets, right? So it was the beets. So then I have a patient that then Facebooks me and says, "Hey, Dr. G, my stool's all red. I don't know what to do." And I was like, "Is there any blood on the paper?" "No, And I asked her all these questions. I was like, "What'd you eat?" And she said, "Well, I ate beets." And I was like, "It's the beets. It's the beets." So it's beets. So I always get the most inappropriate, crazy questions, especially from people.
You should be able to ask your doctor about your poop and pee and
Sometimes
stuff.
my friends, which I like to call coworkers, they ask me an inappropriate question about beets, and you can't beat that.
You hadn't had one dad joke in this entire show.
I haven't even made one drug reference this whole show.
That's true.
I am so behind. I'm going to have to make 12 drug
He's
references.
growing more professional.
See?
That's my effect on
I'm
you.
wearing my big boy shirt today. Okay, so we're not going to get to scars.
We didn't get to scars. Does anybody have any questions, though? We used up this whole hour on just 2 subjects.
Yeah, but important ones. I feel like you had styes and you're concerned about wrinkles, and so like this was really just about you.
That's not. We asked last show what people wanted to hear about.
Oh, okay.
And they said styes, wrinkles, and scars.
Yeah.
You need to quit making me the scapegoat for all of our problems.
So next time what are we talking about? So next week we're talking about. So we'll add scars.
Is next week the last Tuesday in July? Does anybody know?
No idea. No, there's got to be 2 more, I think.
What are keloid scars?
Yeah, keloid. So that's when it over scars. Like, so you have a hyper keloid reaction. So basically, instead of having a little scar like this, it welts up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's everybody show their scars next time.
Yes.
They can post pictures.
Mine's never ending. I got shovel here, dog here, rock climbing here.
I bet I have the longest scar.
You just make stuff up. You can't be all bragging about your scars.
Why? I can do whatever I want.
bet after surgery you like kept forcing in the scar to get longer. So you can be like, look at me.
No, we had to actually they had me put vitamin E on it back. This is in 1980.
Yeah. They
Had to
didn't
put
have vitamin E in
vitamin E.
1980?
Yeah, they had those little gel caps.
Jeez, were you like 40 back then?
You know what? You know what?
No,
That's
that's good.
enough.
You look that young.
All
See?
right, I'll take it.
All right.
So, any last
What are we
questions?
talking about next week?
Oh, scars.
Yeah, what was the other? We had our list.
Oh, yes. Well, we've
Yeah.
got lots of things we can talk about. Here's some other things to choose from. What would you guys like to hear about?
Okay.
Skin tags,
Those are delicious.
fungal patches.
That's gross. That'd be a good one. Because I actually, when I was in Phuket in Thailand, just after I spoke at the International Symposium, I got a little fungal thing here, and I took pictures and posted it and treated it, and I did it all wrong. I did right, but I did it the wrong way, and then you guys
Do
learn
what he
from my
says, not
mistakes.
what he does.
That's right.
Warts.
Yeah, warts is a good one.
Ringworm.
Those are delicious.
Hives.
That's
Is anything
no,
standing out for anybody?
Nobody cares about hives.
Vitiligo, alopecia.
Ooh, that's a good one. Those are autoimmune-ish. Did we talk about eczema psoriasis yet?
Have we talked about eczema and
No,
psoriasis?
we didn't talk about that because we would have talked about T-cell dysregulation. And,
Skin tags, we have a vote. That's
All right.
one.
So, post your ones on that, and so we can...
Cellulite, skin
cellulite.
tags, jojoba.
Yeah, we got to figure out what that is.
What else?
Yeah.
Hey, Kyle.
It's cow.
Kyle, what kind of skin conditions do you want us to talk about next show?
Putting Kyle on the spot now. Do you know Kyle?
Kyle has good skin.
Do you know Kyle?
Yes, Kyle and I worked together, B&N,
What's B&N?
back in the day. He lives in Texas now.
How is that even B&N? Back in the day?
They are gross, Ryan. That's what makes a good show.
Yes.
Gross things.
Well, it looks like Ryan's on there. Well, that's nice.
There's Mr. Bartle.
Mr.
Ryan, we were talking about your gardening earlier. You'll have to watch the video to see what Dr. G said
You're
about
have
you.
to see John so you can step up the game. Here's Mariah. Oh, which, by the way, as we close here, you guys, so you've wasted another hour with us. But I'm not sure you're going to do anything.
You'll never get that back.
But I have scheduled the Dr. G show, or my cooking show. So you guys know I had a cooking show for a couple years on TV, which nobody watched, and because it was like Channel 43. And I don't even know how
You were like too nice in that show.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I saw some of those videos you showed. You showed me.
So I forced you to watch. So then I've been wanting to do Cooking After Dark with Dr. G. So we drink a little, play some music like a record, and then we have guests and have interesting food. And we have a little small studio audience. So all that's finally scheduled. It was supposed to be this spring, but then I went to Thailand and Phuket and
Here we go.
South America and
Just breathe through
the
this.
jungles
Breathe.
and caving, and it's not.
Let it go.
And those islands,
Let it
swim the Great Barrier
just
Reef.
let it flow.
The sharks and the stingrays.
By the way, that cooking show probably won't be quite as good because I'm not going to be there. But I'm
You're not
just
gonna be on the
saying you
show?
should watch it anyway.
So, that'll be awesome. So we got all that scheduled, and then also I posted on my Facebook that we have 10 lectures that we're doing at OptiLife, from everything from food as medicine to herbs as a medicine, and Crohn's and ulcerative colitis and all these kind of things. So I posted that list of all those 10 things. I also posted when our shows are. We're gonna have a limited studio audience, so, and then we're gonna professionally produce the video, not like this, and
I don't know whose idea this was, but it wasn't mine.
we're raw and cut on this show. We're real.
Yeah, this is the real deal.
So, anyways, look forward to you guys next week, and for all you guys that watch it offline, nobody's calling you lazy or not committed.
But we are.
I wasn't.
Cellulite, jojoba, and skin tags. I mean, jojoba.
And scars.
And scars.
And scars is really good because someone else today was talking about they had diffusion contracture and it's like this and they had to get surgery. But I reversed patients with that. So it was pretty amazing.
Okay.
So, we're going to have lots of great stuff to talk about next week. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to post them. Holly will go through these. And especially if, like 2 or 3 in the morning, have questions, just
in his mind, I will go through them.
Poster.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Love you guys.
Good night.
Don't touch that button.